A hidden technical problem is starting to frustrate Formula One's biggest stars, and according to McLaren, it's no longer just about who drives better, it's about whether the computers decide to cooperate. That concern exploded after the Belgian Grand Prix, where both drivers and engineers admitted that unpredictable power unit behavior is influencing qualifying results in ways they cannot fully control. Spa-Francorchamps exposed the weakness more than almost any other circuit. With its long straights and limited opportunities to recover energy, drivers spent large sections of the lap relying almost entirely on the internal combustion engine. McLaren team principal Andrea Stella explained that the 2026 power units include self-learning systems designed to anticipate energy demands. But he admitted those systems are extremely sensitive. Tiny differences in driver inputs, changing grip levels, or even shifting wind conditions can completely alter how the engine manages energy later in the lap. And this is where the situation becomes serious. Oscar Piastri revealed that this technology cost him significant time against Lando Norris during qualifying, despite both McLarens running identical settings. Stella also suggested George Russell suffered from exactly the same issue, losing unexpected speed on the straights compared to Kimi Antonelli. That's the real issue. Drivers are no longer certain whether the final result depends on their performance or on software behavior. Piastri did not hide his frustration. He admitted, "It sucks. I can't explain it any other way," he said. The Australian stressed that this is not an isolated McLaren problem. According to him, several drivers have experienced similar issues throughout the season. He even argued that grids are sometimes being decided by computers behaving well or badly, calling that a terrible way to determine the starting order. This changes everything. Truck racing, I did a little bit of, single-seater touring cars, sports cars, and Lando Norris completely agreed. He explained that drivers have very little influence over what happens once these energy management systems begin reacting during a lap. Norris admitted that some details remain under driver control, but far too many are completely outside their hands. He said it is frustrating to leave qualifying knowing that the power unit, not the driver, may have determined the final lap time. Ironically, Norris said Spa was actually the first weekend all season where he finally felt competitive on the straights. Until now, he believes these same power unit behaviors had been hurting his own performances. This time the disadvantage affected Piastri instead, but Norris insisted it was not because of any mistake from his teammate. According to him, the engines simply decide to behave differently under changing conditions, creating performance gaps nobody can predict before the session begins. Looking ahead, there appears to be no quick solution. Even though Formula One plans to adjust the balance between electrical power and combustion engines in future regulations, Piastri warned that this specific problem is rooted much deeper in how these power units are calibrated and how their learning systems evolve during running. He believes every manufacturer is facing the same challenge, and improvements will only come as teams better understand the technology. Until then, one uncomfortable question remains: are Formula One qualifying sessions still being decided by the world's best drivers, or increasingly by software no one fully controls? What's your take on this situation? Truck racing, I did a little bit of, single-seater touring cars, sports cars, and mock the mazes. Until then, one uncomfortable,